manager, Swarup. Hi, good evening. Welcome to the show. And first of all, Swarup, thank you so much for taking time out and being a part of this journey with us. A heartfelt gratitude to you. And 16 years, long time, but what would you like to say about this journey with us?
No, I think first of all, congratulations and wish you all a very happy birthday, if I can call that. 16 years is an amazing journey, and what you all have given back to the average investor in this country, I think people can never thank you enough, and especially you, Kavita. Personal finance, as both of us often talk, remains very close to both our hearts, because at the end of the day, what comes out is the need for investing is probably one of the most ignored needs in this country. And you sit there. When we ask people what is important, health or wealth, everybody will tell us health, but in their minds will be wealth. And as we progress in this journey, what you all have done for people of this country is just unbelievable. I would wish you all the best and keep going the way you all are and building this cult of investing in this country.
Thank you so much for your words, Swarup. But then also, let's take you back 16 years, in terms of sector growth, in terms of investor behavior, especially since pandemic, we've seen a set of investors taking interest in the market. How would you like to talk about this changing investor behavior and changing investor type as well? The sector has really grown. We've seen a lot of awareness, a lot of hand-holding done from all important and trusted platforms. 16 years, how would you like to sum it up?
I mean, there's been dramatic sea change in the bottom line, and I always used to think a lot of what is happening now would happen after I retire. But to see that happening is just phenomenal. I think 2-3 things happened in the last 15, 16 years. I think Demon was a big stepping stone for which led to investing in India. It just got into the need that people should start investing. That was when I think the first change happened. And then, of course, there is this life before COVID and after COVID. COVID changed everything for us. And when people sat in their homes for over 2 years and got out the need of investing, because that's the first time you could differentiate between what is a need and a want. And people came out far wiser than that. And the digitization process along with this, I think, hastened this whole process. I'll give you a small example of what I'm saying. Before COVID, the industry was just 2.3 crore folios. That would be almost 20 years of work leading to 2.3 crore folios. Today, we are sitting at 5.6 crore folios, tending towards 6 crores. In 2024, the industry added 1 crore folios. That is how dramatically things are changing. And per day, we are adding investors, which used to be such a fight, say 15 years ago. So the need for investing has started, thanks to people like you who continuously educate. And I must say, from the mutual fund perspective, the large campaign which all of you supported, called Mutual Fund Sahi Hai, also took mutual funds to people's houses. So all this added up, and what we are seeing today is the beginning of penetration of financial assets in the country. There is a distinct shift from fixed asset investing to financial asset investing. It's just the beginning. Plus, I think the demography of the country is playing out. As the young start investing, and they are far more financially secure than, say, my generation was, they will tend towards financial assets more than fixed assets. So all this is setting up for what can be an incredible next 10 years. Please also add to the fact that probably the country is at a brilliant threshold of having an 8-10 year secular run on its economy, completely divergent from the rest of the world. All this has added up to making this a very sweet spot for investors. I mean, there is a risk to investing, there is a risk to not investing. At this moment, people are realizing that the risk to not investing is fairly large.
All right, Swarup, let me just talk about the next 16 years. Now, what kind of investor builder investment style you think will be taking center stage or main stage? Can there be an answer to this right now?
Actually, it's a very interesting question. And Kavita, when I give my answer, please reflect on what we are witnessing at this moment. In my almost 3 decades of doing this job, this is the first time when the environment is seeing three generations of investors investing together. It had never happened earlier. Typically, it was my father's generation and my generation investing. But this third generation, which has come in, is changing a lot of it, right? And when three generations invest, the because of their economic background, risk-taking potential, and their outlook towards life, the products differ from each generation. What my father's generation used to buy was very secure or mostly safety oriented. Those were products for that generation. My generation ventured a bit into capital markets and then started buying more equity as we speak. But the third generation will open up the product basket. I mean, there will be no limitations there, from capital market products to, I dare say, the entire range of commodities, and we can probably see some amount of digital assets being added there. I don't know whether I can call it asset or not, but what they will invest in will be probably not have any correlation with the other two generations. So we are at that cusp of that. As a mutual fund manufacturer, sometimes I worry that maybe I don't have enough products to cater for that generation. Interesting times. So to put down or paint this in one brush is not correct. Each generation will have its own products, and the beauty of the Indian financial markets is it's also matured. When you look at mutual funds in perspective, I think our fund managers have put in almost 30 years of track record now, and that 30 years of track record is telling, which is now adding to the momentum of investments. So we are at a position where some of our products have started maturing and giving some brilliant maturing, meaning have built good track record to give confidence to investors of what is the capability of the industry. At the same time, we are beginning to see a thriving passive market beginning to take place. Please understand, mutual funds have 5.5 crore folios. There are some 10, 12 crore folios, demat accounts. So that part is also beginning to fall into place. Gold has never seen better days, so the opportunities in commodities, gold and silver, also look bright. I mean, it's the best time to be an investor. I mean, all asset classes look fantastic. Debt has seen some interest rate correction, so people have benefited from that. So the merit of asset allocation is completely in front of people. And I think the education that all of you put to the investor is now beginning to show. I think we are seeing investment month on month across categories of mutual funds. And no wonder we are sitting on a 26,000 crore monthly SIP book as we speak.
Swarup, you being an industry representative, when you sit on the panel, you're also representing the global setup, because you represent Mir Asset. Now, talking about the Indian regulatory framework, I really want to understand, because you have a certain sense of worldview also, what changes you think will get India at par with the global investment synergy or the markets out there, or you think we're already there, we're already at par, in fact doing a better job than them?
Kavita, I say this with a lot of humility and a lot of happiness that our regulatory framework is definitely up or in a lot of places far ahead of the market globally. We're probably one of the most structured regulatory framework in the world, and it should be, because we didn't have to go through a lot of learnings which other regulators had to go through. We could see some things in advance and pick it up as we speak, right? So we had that advantage, and to be fair to our regulators and the central bank, both have taken that job with so much efficiency that as a mutual fund manufacturer, I sit in this market absolutely confident of the framework. Now, please understand, as the amount of money starts growing, regulation should also grow. All regulations are aimed at safeguarding the investor, right? And as we start moving more and more to a complete digital world, the risks of the digital world also need to be addressed. The flow of the money has to be clean from the investor to us and from us back to the investor, right? And for that, if there are some incremental regulations required, more than welcome. But to be fair to what has happened, has been nothing less than spectacular. Today, the investor is fairly safeguarded from this entire flow of money perspective. But as technology grows, as we see new ways of cracks possible, the regulations will come in. But to answer your question in one sentence, I think we could not have asked for a better regulatory framework as we do our jobs on a daily basis.
All right, one last question to you, Swarup. One investment mantra that was valid 16 years back and will also be valid for next 16 years.
The only investment mantra that works is staying invested. You stay invested in this incredible country called India, in this incredible economy, which gives you this incredible opportunity of doubling itself in the next 8-10 years. And one of the best ways of owning that growth is through the capital markets. Just stay invested and enjoy the ride called India. I'll be held responsible for this statement. Call me back every year and I'll revisit this statement. The only person who will make money is the person who will remain invested in this market. If you want to time the market, more often than not, you will be wrong. Kavita and I have had this statement in the past. I will repeat the statement which I made to Kavita in Jan this year, is that an asset allocator will win, a market timer will definitely lose. So build a good asset allocated portfolio and remain true that allocation and stay invested for the next 8-10 years. And you will enjoy this growth of the country in your portfolio.
All right, I think with that, it's a wrap on the show. Thank you so much, Swarup, for being with us as a part of this journey and also a part of this very special episode today. Thank you so much for joining us. And for our viewers, once again, thank you so much for being with us. This entire 16 years of journey, it's because of your love and your trust that we are over here. So once again, thank you so much for trusting us and being with ET Now. Goodbye.